Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Balaram Purnima ki. Auspicious appearance day of Lord Balarama ki. Reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Adi Leela, chapter 5. We pick up from text 4. Sava avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Dhanadvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balaram is His second body. Purport. Lord Shri Krishna, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, is the primeval Lord, the original form of Godhead, and His first expansion is Shri Balaram. The Personality of Godhead can expand Himself in innumerable forms. The forms that have unlimited potency are called Swamsa, and forms that have limited potencies, the living entities, are called Vibhinamsa. Oma Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome again, dear devotees, on behalf of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We'd like to welcome all of you to one of his homes, his Asia. Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, is giving us the Siddhanta, the truths about the personality of Godhead. So the first point being established is the supremacy of Shri Krishna, that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As we hear from Brahma Samhita, He is the Sarva Karana Karanam, He is the cause of all causes. He is the fountainhead of all emanations. So, from Krishna, everything and everyone has come. And then we understand from the verse that Lord Balaram is His second body. Our philosophy teaches that it is monotheism. So people sometimes get confused. What type of monotheism is this? So many lords. Lord this one, Lord that one. And so it is difficult for them to understand how it is monotheism. So the devotees have qualified it as a special type of monotheism called polymorphic bi-monotheism. So polymorphic, poly you understand many, to morph is to expand, and bi says that the one God, mono, comes in two. Generally, we understand the divine masculine and divine feminine. So in the Vaishnava Siddhanta, Godhead is Radha Krishna. And two from one, and from one, so many have come. So Radharani is said to be on the left side, expanding from Krishna. And on the right side, Lord Balaram expands. So Balaram then is no different from Krishna. We have two, but they are the same. So Kaviraj Goswami will continue to explain how this is so. Text 5. These two are one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balarama is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Purport. Balarama is the Swamsa expansion of the Lord, and therefore there is no difference in potency between Krishna and Balarama. The only difference is in their bodily structure. As the first expansion of Godhead, Balarama is the chief deity among the first quadruple forms, and he is the foremost assistant of Shri Krishna in his transcendental activities. So, Krishna expands into Lord Balarama, and they are the same, but there is some slight difference, and that difference is said to be in their bodily structure. So this becomes a subject of many discussions. One famous one arises in Allahabad during Kumbh Mela. His Holiness Madhurisa Swami was speaking to Mother Yamuna. So he was saying, Krishna and Balarama, there's no difference, but the only difference is that Krishna is blackish and Balarama is whitish in complexion. Mother Yamuna was saying, no, that's not the only difference. The other difference is that Krishna enjoys with Srimati Radharani, but Balarama does not enjoy with Srimati Radharani. And they were having a back and forth. And Tamal Krishna Goswami happened to hear this discussion. And he felt, well, let's take it to Srila Prabhupada. So they went to Srila Prabhupada, as is the proper standard. If there's some misunderstanding, confusion, then we have to submissively put that before the spiritual master so he can clear our doubts. So he came to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, these two devotees are having some disagreement. They don't see eye to eye. Madhurisa Swami says, the only difference between Krishna and Balarama is that Krishna is black and Balarama is white. And so Prabhupada said, oh yes, he's right. No, but then Mother Yamuna is saying that the only difference is that Krishna enjoys with Radharani and Balarama does not. Srila Prabhupada said, yes, she's right. And Tamal Krishna Goswami said, Prabhupada, they cannot both be right. Prabhupada said, you are right. And then Tamal Krishna Goswami said, no, Prabhupada, there must be, one must be right, one must be wrong. And Srila Prabhupada said, you are right. And then you sort it out. You figure it out. In one sense, Srila Prabhupada is revealing to us the basic point with which we enter into the understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Jiva Goswami has expressed, that first point is to accept that the inconceivable position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that it is inconceivable for us who are materially bound, limited. We cannot wrap our, as Prabhupada says, teeny brains, our tiny brains, to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we want to understand some of these seeming contradictions, we first have to accept that the Lord and his position is an inconceivable position for us to understand. Then we can begin to understand. So it is explained that Lord Balarama has a particular mood, just as all of us have a mood. His main mood is that he is a friend to Krishna. There are different rasas. Rasas, for those, some are here for the first time, different levels of loving relationships. So the different devotees, they serve according to a particular flavor that they have, particular mood of love towards Krishna. So Lord Balaram, his main mood towards Krishna is a mood of friendship, which is called Sakyaras. But his Sakyaras is divided into two. It contains also Vatsalya, or parental mood towards Krishna, and it also contains a mood of servitorship. And this servitorship, Dasyaras, is the foundation upon which devotion is based. That everyone is Jivara Sarupa Krishna Nityadas. Everyone is the eternal servant of Krishna. So, as a friend, Lord Balaram manifests his parental love towards Krishna by being very protective of Krishna. In fact, sometimes he's like a disciplinarian. One time, believe it or not. So, they are brothers. They are brothers. Of course, we understand the Supreme Lord is the eldest person, the oldest person, is the primeval person, the original person. But we find that Lord Balaram, in the incarnation 5,000 years ago, he's appeared before Krishna. Today is that Purnima day. Even the news outlets and everyone else noted that there is a super moon, a blue moon. It hasn't occurred like this in the last 14 years. And the devotees, I'm sure all of you were encouraged to think, yes, today is the auspicious day that Lord Balaram appeared. Therefore, the moon is also celebrating, and it is showing its best feature. Yes, when we come to such festivals, when we put on our Sunday best, although it's Thursday, we want to present ourselves in the best and attractive way to please Krishna. So, why Lord Balaram has appeared before Krishna? It is discussed that previously, when they appeared as Ramachandra and Laxmana, there Balaram appeared as the younger brother. And as the younger brother, he went through too much tribulations, he felt. Because the etiquette is that the younger brother, you can't tell the elder brother anything. You can't correct him or try to guide his activities. You have to act as a servant to him. This is the Vedic culture. And so, Krishna, in his appearance as Lord Ramachandra, did a few things or put Lakshman in certain situations where he was really like in a corner. One such situation was that when Ramachandra was banished to go to the forest, Lakshman didn't want this to happen. You know, he tried his best, but you don't have to go. Ram was saying, no, my father has ordained this. It was his desire. I have to fulfill it. Lakshman was saying, no, you don't have to. And anyway, now that you're going, you have to come with him. So basically, he was also banished to live in the forest with him. When Sita was set up for the kidnap by Ravana, Lakshmana had to guard her. But then Sita, hearing the false cries of Maricha that sounded like Ram, she told Lakshman, you go and help him. Lakshman said, he told me not to leave your side. Now he's caught up, the wife of his brother, the order of his brother. And Sita, due to her affection for Lord Ram, had to use heavy tactics. She hit under the belt. Lakshman, okay, I see what's on your mind. you want Ram to die, so that once he's gone, then you can enjoy with me. Is this your motive? Lakshmana's heart was cut, because the words that come from the mouth can cut deeper than the weapons that cut the skin, especially the words from those who we hold near and dear. Lakshmana had not even, it said, hardly had ever seen her face. He always looked at her feet. But then Lakshmana also understanding, we have a beautiful relationship with Sita. There's been no problem. But due to her affection for Ram, she's making a withdrawal from this loving bank account that we have. And if I look at how we've always dealt, this is not coming from a place of malice. So he had to stomach it. And then he allowed her to win. He went away. And what happened next? Ravana came and was able to kidnap Sita. And Ram, of course, he was devastated. I told you not to leave her side. So now, you can't also give excuses to your older brother. So he had to take in all these shots. So within his heart, he decided that this appearing as a younger brother, I don't want to do it again. The next time we come, I definitely will come in a senior position so that I can tell Krishna what's what, and I don't have to be caught up in his misbehavior. I can be his authority. And so we see the relationship is such that, as you can see in this picture, they are each other's servants. When they were entering the forest in Vrindavan, Krishna, seeing all the trees, they are as if bowing down with their branches. He starts to glorify Lord Balarama. Just see, these trees are like great sages. They are recognizing you, Balarama, that you are so wonderful, that they are offering obeisances, and they want to take the dust from your lotus feet. Just hear the bees singing your glories. They are following you everywhere that you go. Just see the doves. They are giving you sidelong glances, just as the gopis do. How glorious you are. Listen to the cuckoos. They are reciting the Vedic hymns in glorification of you. So Lord Krishna, dealing with Balaram as an authority, as a guru, as an elder. And then as they traverse, sometimes Balaram will lie down, and Krishna will sit and have his head, Balaram's head on his lap, and massage his head. Sometimes he's massaging his feet, and vice versa. Here we can see Balaram is also offering that type of service. So friends who deal sometimes as one is the authority, the other is the servant. Sometimes the other one is accepted as a master and the other is a servant. But otherwise, Lord Balaram, he expands into many, many items for serving Krishna. Because he is the greatest teacher of devotion to Krishna. He's the original guru. Who is showing that devotion is not only lip service. I love Krishna. I love him so much. But the love has to translate into activities. In this world, people write many songs. I want to be the air that you breathe. I want to be the earth beneath your feet. They should take a page out of Balaram's life. He expands as the spiritual world, the Dham. And so he actually becomes the ground on which Krishna walks. He doesn't just sing a song. He expands into Krishna's robe, the bugle, so many things that Krishna engages with. In our case, in Chaitanya Leela is also understood to expand as the instruments that we're using, like the Mridanga is actually directly called Balarama. So in this way, allowing that Krishna can enjoy, and that Krishna is served, his bed, his pillows. So Balaram is showing the greatest extent of eagerness to serve the Lord. We are encouraged to have a service attitude. So we can learn from him unlimited service attitude. Lord Balarama being the original guru, it is said, Yasyat Prasadat, Bhagavat Prasadat, Yasyat Prasadat, Nagati Kutopi. By the mercy of Guru, by pleasing Guru, we get Krishna. And by the mercy of Krishna, initially we get Guru. So if we are to be successful in connecting to the Supreme Lord, then the Guru's mercy is indispensable. And we see that demonstrated also in the pastimes of the Lord, that by the mercy of Lord Balarama, does anyone have access to Krishna? Even in the appearance pastimes, we understand that Mother Devaki, in her womb, were 6 children who were miscarriages. We understand that the previous life, though, these sons were the sons of the son of Hiranyakashipu by the name of Kalanemi. But these sons decided to worship Lord Brahma to get some benedictions. And when their demonic grandfather Hiranyakashipu found out that you are going to worship the demigods, he cursed them. Because you didn't inform me, in your next life, your own father will be the cause of your death. So in the next life, they were the sons of Kamsa. Well, Kamsa killed them. They were begotten in the womb of Devaki, and every time each child was born, Kamsa came, grabbed them, and smashed their heads. So there's a lot of killing in the leaders of the Lord, but this killing shouldn't worry us. Because it said, whether the Lord hugs you or kills you, still you are transcendentally benefited, because it's absolute. I think of this point because we were once at this bushfire festival, and we were selling books, and one mother came, and she looked at the books, she asked us, do you have children's books, coloring books, something? And fortunately we had Krishna book, coloring book. So yes, she took it, and she was looking, and she was paging, and she saw the killing of Putana, the killing of Agasura, the killing of all these demons that are getting. So each page, she looked at me and said, are you sure this is a children's book? Why all this killing? So I had to explain to her, no, these are all demons. And so when the Lord kills them, He is also killing certain demonic tendencies within our hearts. And so it is wonderful that they're getting killed, so it's okay. Then she kind of accepted it, like, yeah, but it was too much of a turnaround from killing, then it's something wonderful. So, in this way, these children who were killed, you could say Mother Devaki's womb was transcendentally polluted because these demonic people were in her womb. And so, Lord Balarama then appears in her womb. And by his presence in the womb of Devaki, she's given the opportunity to be purified. And he prepares the womb for the appearance of Krishna. So in this way, by her mercy, by his mercy, she gets the opportunity to get Krishna as her son. We see in Ramlila that Sugriva had a problem with his brother Vali. I don't know if any of you have some problem with one of your siblings. I prophesy, one of you has a family problem. You're not getting along with your siblings. It's generally standard. Mature means that there's always a breakdown in relationships. So, Sugriva and Bali didn't see eye to eye. Misunderstanding. The elder brother went to fight some demon. It took too long in this cave and he didn't come out. And because he's so strong, the younger brother Sugriva thought, my brother, if he's been defeated here, that means this demon is super powerful. So just to make sure he doesn't come out and go finish everyone in the kingdom, let me plug this cave with this big rock. After some days, the brother came and he found the mouth of the cave is plugged. He immediately thought, oh, this Sugriva is trying to finish me off. So he finally got out, he went and he declared his brother an enemy. He didn't check with him. How come you plugged the mouth of the cave? But anyway, it became an issue that Sugriva had to flee the kingdom. And he needed help to defeat his brother Vali. He then asked Lord Ram to help him. Ram, Balarama said, well, Krishna is Ram and Laxmana is Balarama. So when he asked Lord Ramachandra for help, it came that there was supposed to be the fight. They fought, and he was saying, how come Ram is not killing this Bali? Then Lakshman could tell he's getting worried. So he went to him and when he came to us, Ram, I don't think you're doing your part, you're supposed to kill him. He said, Ram, I can't tell, you guys look the same. So if I shoot, I don't want to end up shooting you. So Lakshman gave his garland to Sugriva, so Lord Ramachandra could tell them apart. Then he could kill Bali instead of killing Sugriva. So in that way, by the mercy of Ram, of Ram in terms of Balaram, as Lakshman, he got the mercy. He got the mercy. Raghunath Das Goswami in Chaitanya Lila, he was trying to leave home to go and become the associate of Lord Chaitanya. So many obstacles, to the point where his parents thought that we should chain him. You know, people chain dogs and then they run a whole line, so at least the dog has some type of freedom, so-called. He just runs down this one line. Then the father said, anyway, he's been attracted by Mahaprabhu. He has a wife here who is as beautiful as the Gandharvas. We have so much money, we're rich. If this could not tie him down, that he's trying to escape, what will your chain do? But anyway, he couldn't until he met Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is again Balaram in Chaitanya Lila. This is corroborated by Narottam Das Thakur. He sings Brajendra Nandanaji Sachi Sutta Hoilo Se Balaram Hoilo Nita Balaram Hoilo Nita. So Lord Krishna, the son of the king of Raja, has come as the son of Mother Sachi, Lord Chaitanya. And Balaram Hoilo Nita, he has come as Lord Nityananda. So when Raghunath Das met Lord Nityananda, he offered his obeisances at a distance. And the devotees told Lord Nityananda, oh, there's Raghunath Das offering his obeisances. And Lord Nityananda was saying, call him here. So Raghunath Das came and said, you are a thief. Why are you offering obeisances at a distance? Now I have to punish you. And what was his punishment? He gave him service. You have to feed all the Vaishnavas. So he began this Chidadahi festival, cheap rice and yogurt festival. Because he was a cheese boy, rich man, son, he he could buy unlimited chip rice and yogurt. So many people came with fruits to sell, and so the Vaishnavas were fed. There was a big Sankirtan festival, and because he pleased Lord Nityananda, after that, some plan just came about at home, that when the Guru at home, Nandacharya, somehow couldn't worship, he could escape, and he was accepted by Shikitana Mahaprabhu. Jai Jai Shishi Gornitai Ki Jai Shishi. So underscoring the point that the mercy of the spiritual master is the way through which we get the mercy of the Lord, and particularly the Adi Guru, Lord Balarama, is that personality through whom we are able to access the Supreme Lord. Narottam Das Thakur says like that, also in another song, Nitai Korona Satya, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are the truth. And Heno Nitai Bine Bhai, Radha Krishna Paitena. Without getting the mercy of Nityananda, forget Paitenai, access to Radha and Krishna. So, for us, Vaishnavas, such a festival offers us many, many remembrances of the Lord, and particularly we are focusing now, due to time, on this point of Guru. Because as followers of Rupa Goswami, Rupanugas, he writes in Letter of Devotion that the process of devotion, number one, it is Ado Guru Padashraya. In the beginning, one must take shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Without taking shelter of the dear devotee of the Lord, it is impossible to get the mercy of the Lord. Just like we know in this world, any big man, big woman has some secretary, some PA. You have to book some appointment through them that you can get audience with that important personality. So in the same way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the biggest, most important person. And he also has a system that when the devotees approve of the living entity, that he won't come and cause a disturbance, then he will accept. Otherwise, the Lord is already surrounded. Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambhara Sedama. So many Lakshmis, the best of devotees that are serving him in the spiritual sky. Then why should he be interested in whatever cause that we are trying to make? Not to lose hope, of course, is in the heart of every living being. As a simple soul, the Lord is most intimately associated with the living entity, being his friend and well-wisher. And so he knows our desires. And he will reciprocate. But to actually enter the eternal service, you have to come with a good recommendation. These days it's like that. If you want to visit some particular temple somewhere, they say, Prabhuji, you have to give us a letter of recommendation from your temple president or your authority. You need to study some course on Krishna consciousness, recommendation to it's interesting, yeah. So many locks on the door. Therefore, we need to please the Vaishnavas by their mercy. And so Lord Balarama is that personality. I guess we'll get into the questions. Time is up. If there's any, let's see. Srila Prabhupada, when chanting japa, does not chant Panchatattva mantra. Only other thing he says on the japa tape is sit properly. The japa mala represents the gopis. When Krishna is with the gopis, Balaram is not present out of etiquette. So by chanting Panchatattva mantra before japa, Lord Nityananda is mentioned. Who is Balarama? I heard from some of Srila Prabhupada's disciples in Vrindavan that Srila Prabhupada said Panchatattva mantra is chanted before kirtan, not japa. This is from Kulashekha Prabhu. Yeah, a big question. Srila Prabhupada does not chant Panchatattva mantra. Well, yeah, Prabhupada recommended that we chant the Panchatattva mantra before chanting Hare Krishna mantra. In fact, even shedding tears that the Panchatattva are so merciful that they've come to give what no other incarnations can give. Why it's so special what they are giving? That not that they are giving something nice from Goloka, but Golokela Prema Dana, Harinam Sankirtan, the treasure of Goloka, the topmost thing. And it's being given to the most unqualified in Kali Yuga. So you can see the extreme. The best of all things is being given to the least qualified people. Therefore, Namo Mahavaranyaya, the most magnanimous Lord Chaitanya. So Srila Prabhupada was saying they don't consider offenses. They are merged in love of God. Therefore, they are not checking who's qualified and who's not. They're trying to give love of God to everyone. So to chant that is to ask them not to consider our offenses. Of course, the one thing is that Prabhupada didn't say that before every round you have to chant. It will only hurt if you do. But before chanting, that's the meditation to seek the blessings of the Panchatattva and so that your offenses are not taken seriously. So when Krishna is with the gopis, Balarama is not present out of etiquette. He is also serving Lord Balarama Krishna's romantic escapades. He's in favor of it. Him leaving, of course, not being there is to allow that it flows without a hindrance. Radharani will be shy in front of the older brother. Krishna himself, we see he's given sidelong glances under Govardhan while he's lifting. And then because Balarama is looking at him when he's looking at the gopis, he trembles. He cannot enjoy properly. But we also understand that Lord Balarama, to also take part, he is another expansion of Anangamachari, some other esoteric subject matter, but he also helps in conjugal rasa. So the one thing we can take from this is that it is said there are no hard and fast rules for chanting the names of Krishna. So the Lord has given innumerable names, and He's not demanding so much when to chant, sitting, standing, lying down, morning or evening. He wants us to chant the holy name. If only we can get some attraction to the name, then we will be truly benefited. So I would say it shouldn't be an extra rule that may bring fear. Did I chant Panchatattva too many times? Did I chant before japa or in the middle? Chant and be happy. How can we win the favor of Lord Balarama? By following the order of Guru. The order is simple in the age of Kali, that accept that the name of Krishna is the incarnation for the age. And give time and energy to hearing about the glories of Lord Krishna. Offer some service to the mission of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada has left us with a lot of service to distribute Krishna consciousness. This knowledge of Lord Balarama being an expansion of Krishna, being expansion of the Dham, being Anantashesh, glorifying the Lord with thousands of mouths, eternally not reaching the end of his glory. He's carrying the universes on the hoods of his heads, expanding as the Purusha avatars, Karna Vishnu, Shiva Vishnu, Bhava Vishnu, basically making sense of the whole creation. It's not available for the people. And those who have access to it owe a debt. And Srila Prabhupada has established this movement for the sake of giving a vehicle for the transcendental wisdom to reach all sorts of conditioned souls. So to get the mercy of Lord Balarama is just to try to execute the order of Krishna, which is coming through the spiritual master, which is Yadadeka Taika Krishna Upadesh, Amara Jai Guru Hai Taradesh. That whomever you meet, wherever you meet them, share Krishna Upadesh, the instructions of Krishna with them. And in this way become Guru and deliver your countrymen. So if country is too big, try your town. If your town is too big, try your village or your township. Try your street. If the street is too daunting, at home, give it to the children, give it to relatives. And in this way, we get the mercy of Lord Balarama. Krishna says, time I am. So we also bow down to Krishna in the form of time. It is said in the scriptures, we never tire about hearing the Lord's glories. His name is pastimes. So, if we don't feel satisfied, like I'm feeling also, there's always the books of Srila Prabhupada. Make the time to read them and hear them and be blessed by Lord Balarama. Shri Balarama Purnima ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Jai Gaura